Hello. Alrighty, you guys. Hello, hello, hello. We are here today. Give everyone a chance to go ahead and hop on in while we get set up here. But it is a My Hero Academia Sunday again. Last week we did not have a new manga chapter, which was painful considering the huge reveal that was the 2 chapters before that. So I'm super, super excited for 308 this week. I haven't seen any spoilers per se. I have seen some people talking about it on Twitter, and they've been talking about how it's badass Deku, which is all I've ever wanted. So I'm really excited to dive into this. Hello, IT Fandom Cosplay Girl, Kat. Hi, you almost joined from the She Anime account. That would be fine. That would be totally fine with me. I love, also like shout out if you guys are interested. I just recorded a podcast episode that will be dropping Wednesday the 14th on She Anime. It is a group of 4. Oh, wow. I cannot speak today. I just keep thinking about Deku and Feral Deku, and it's like the only thing my brain is doing. But they have an anime podcast where they talk about anime, and I was their guest for the latest episode. We just recorded it yesterday, talking about My Hero Academia. So if you want to hear me talking to the She Anime podcast, lovely human beings, about the My Hero Academia anime specifically, we will be recording a manga episode in the future. Make sure you are following She Anime. And then you can hear me talk about all the things. I really thought that Keto and I were going to have a lot more banter because we enjoy different characters. But I forget that even though we have different favorite characters, we kind of have like the same opinions about everything, which is like honestly why we got along so well in the beginning. Because it's like she's a Bakugo stan and I'm a Deku stan, but we still kind of feel the same way. Like we're both the kind of people who like appreciate the flaws in the characters we love. So we actually didn't really butt heads. I was like, well, here's what's wrong with your son. And she's like, yeah. Doesn't he suck? And she's like, here's what's wrong with your son. And I'm like, yeah, he's an idiot. And so we actually kind of ended up bonding more despite having different favorites. But yeah, so go ahead and listen to that. It was a very deep discussion. It was really, really wonderful. Hello, Abel, Stella, Taryn, what is up? Kim, hey. Yeah, I was like, oh, Keto and I are going to get into it. And then we did not get into it. I mean, we got into it, like discussing it and talking about it, but not like arguing about it. Because again, we are just kind of the same person in a lot of ways, which I forget about. Because again, like our favorite characters never line up, but how we feel about all the characters always lines up. We just have different tastes in what we like, I guess, and what we appreciate. But we're also very different people. So that happens. Anyway, enough about me and Keto, the love of my life. Gosh, you guys, are we just going to do this? Are we going to dive into 308? Because I don't know about you guys, but like, I'm ready. I'm specifically ready to see the art in this chapter and how Deku is drawn. And I really hope this isn't a drawn out fight. I kind of hope we just go in and Deku just like freaking folds Muscular. Like it just happens. Like that's what I want to see about to happen. This chapter is called Full Power. But is it Muscular's full power or is it Deku full power? So I don't think Deku even needs full power to take out Muscular at this point, to be honest, despite the fact that Muscular just folded Shindo, which again is a really good way that and I think Horikoshi did this really quickly too. He set up Shindo and Muscular, like he set up Shindo as powerful a lot earlier, back when we first met him in the provisional licensing exam, in the licensing exam. And so we met Shindo, we set him up as powerful. We set up Muscular as powerful back when Deku beat him. We set them both up right now for like Shindo getting his butt kicked pretty quickly by Muscular. So I'm really excited because I feel like Horikoshi's really set this like power dynamic up to show us like specifically how much Deku has grown. So I fully expect Deku to come in and just really wipe the floor with Muscular. So I'm really, really hyped. All right, let's do this, you guys. I'm so excited for this chapter called Full Power. We enter and it's, Deku is still holding Shindo. Oh, and now we see more. I need official art. I'm trying to build this cosplay and I want to know what color his arm wraps are before I commit to building it. Hey, Athena, welcome. But like I need some official colored art of this because I've seen a lot of red, but I've seen some black and I'm just like, but what color is it? And then knowing Hori, it could be something crazy. Like it could be purple. So I just want to see. I want to see. I'd never forget you. It's really you, right? Right? Yeah, Muscular recognizes him right away. Oh, and you can see too the mask in the back. It's like totally, it's just a mask. It's not a full hood anymore. You can see Deku's head in the back, and it's not even connected, yeah, to anything but the mouthpiece. Oh, it's so exciting. Oh, Midoriya, I've missed you, little guy. All these pathetic weapons just don't measure up. It's not enough. The fact that like Deku has been living rent-free in this villain's head, it just really establishes, and because we're throwing it all the way back to the summer camp arc with this, that Deku has been a badass from the beginning. He had like, this is an enemy who's been thinking about him nonstop since when he just figured out full cowling. Like, this kid with 3%, you know, full cowling, wrecked this dude. Remembered his whole name. Had this kid's whole name in his head this entire time. Oh, and Deku's not talking. He's just saying, whoosh. Oh my gosh, Deku's eyes. This is really, Deku's scary. I love this. I wanted this for so long. I'm like getting really excited, actually. Not so fast. Don't run away. Oh, I promise you, my dude. Deku ain't running. It's not like that. You've got me all wrong. I ain't out for revenge or anything so dramatic. The way I see it, going wild with my quirk is all I could ever ask for. But I'm only human, you know? You taught me a new meaning of fun back then. And that was the point of no return. Homeboy just shoved a rock in his eye socket. Oh, that's just icky. Oh my gosh. Oh, oh man. Bam. He didn't jump high enough. Wow, he's just ripping. Wow. Yep. Let's go at it at full power. Midoriya. And again, I feel like the thing here is that it's going to be that Muscular is going to go full power. He's wrecking whole buildings. He's destroying everything. And Deku isn't. Deku is going to go to like 9%. Calling it now. Like, he's not even going to hit double digits. And he's going to fold this guy. Oh, come on, Deku. Let's see it. Oh my god, look at Deku just like cradling Shindo. He is the Prince Charming. Deku is the knight in shining armor, and he has been. He has been this whole time, and people are finally getting to see it, and I'm so happy everyone is finally seeing Deku the way I have seen Deku from episode 1, you guys. Chapter 1. What's going on? Can't see with all the smoke. How's that boy doing? Now, what do you think? Ah, glad you're here. Take care of him, okay? Yo, how could you be so dumb? I'm sorry I didn't get here sooner. He needs first aid. Darn, so many buildings already got wrecked. Oh, Deku's still doing his little, like, mumbling, like, cute, like... But no more damage from now on. Right, it's hard to see through the smoke, but I swear I know that voice from somewhere. Who is he? The chick is like, oh my god. Yeah, me with that 2021 vision. I was like, this boy is gonna destroy everything someday, and I'm gonna love him. I love this child. Oh my gosh. No more damage from now on. Oh, I just like, oh, Deku, was that too much? Yeah, you spread your control too thin. Oh my gosh, it's the user. It's the past user with just like his arm around Deku's shoulder. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. This is so cool. Deku's using smokescreen. Oh my gosh. This is so cool. He's just like chatting with them. Just Deku with his 8 ghosts just vibing. It's totally fine. Yeah, you spread your control too thin. That's too much of my smoke screen. Got it. Didn't I mention how it could backfire if the opponent gets the drop on you? Yes. One for All's influence has really opened the floodgates. Keep in mind that the greater power has been built up across 8 generations of users. This is so cool. It's a massive, unwieldy power. And as the 9th user, of course you're feeling the brunt more than any of us. So at times like this, try to relax a little. Oh, he's so cute. Our quirks are mostly standalone abilities that will never rise to the level of ultimate moves. It's almost like you have too much respect for these quirks. Instead, think of them as simply tools in your arsenal. Approach the problem strategically and use your tools to put together a plan. You know what this means? This means, I'm gonna cry again, shit, you guys. That means it had to be Deku because of his strategic brain. He was handed all of these powers, and Deku's the only person who has the mind, this is like throwing it back to what makes Deku great, why it had to be Deku, why it couldn't be Miria, why it couldn't be Bakugo, why it couldn't be anyone else. Deku's quirk analytics are coming into play here. It's everything It's everything that he was from the beginning. Only he could do this with this power. He has the heart to dive in and the brain to make it work. And I love this boy. I'm crying. And just look at this shot of him. Oh, oh my gosh, he looks so cool. He's so beat up. He's got the rope. He's got the walkie-talkie. He's got the walkie-talkie. Who does he talk to? Please let it be All Might. Please let it be All Might. Muscular, the man who is still standing after taking on 100% smashes. Oh, that's right. He did go all the way up to like 100% that time. I just want Deku to fold this guy. Come on. Ugh. No, I'd never forget him either. The seventh float, and he's floating like Nana. I can limit visibility. He doesn't. I don't think it's like a. Oh my gosh, no, it is a jetpack. I thought it was just his backpack. What the heck is happening? Well, good call, Athena. I totally didn't notice that. I was so distracted by everything else. Deku, you can float. Why do you? But in the other panel, it looked just like a backpack. What is going on? Is it metaphorical? I can limit visibility with a 6 smoke screen and guide him towards me. Gotta dig up the memories of that night and that battle. He talks with, oh my gosh, you guys, I just want this for him so bad. See, now it looks like a normal backpack again. I'm so confused. Okay, Deku. Oh, look at him go. Midoriya! God, Muscular. And I love that you can tell, too, that, like, with the art style, just the way Muscular is drawn now, with him just, like, shoving that thing in his eye socket, the blood, like, ooh. Deku's using Black Whip! The 4th danger sense helps me read his moves better. I love that we're actually getting through all of these quirks, too. Cheap party tricks. What's the deal? I know Shigaraki and All For One released you. Where are they now? Deku's hunting them. Deku's hunting them. Deku's hunting them. He's hunting them. Who knows? They just told me to go wild and left me on my own. Why ask about them when I'm right here? You're bumming me out. These little gimmicks, boring. Come on, let's have a rematch. Mano a mano, no holds barred. Why do you rage like this? I just want to live without regrets. Deku's like, regrets. Deku is so chill, and he's not like doing this emotionally. He's not like screaming. He's not like, why are you doing this? Why are you? He's just like, bruh. He's like, for why? Regrets such as not indulging and having fun every chance I get. And then Deku, was there really no other path for you? Goto Imasuji? Oh, and I love that you can see me screenshotting. Yeah, I'm just like, I'm about to be on Twitter, like, losing my mind doing side-by-sides between this and his first fight. I'm like, oh. And he just says, nope. He trying to sympathize with me or something? Yeah, because Deku still wants to save people. Peddle that crap somewhere else. Because all you'll find in my soul, if I had known, maybe things would have worked out differently, is blood and violence. And it's a flashback to Koda. Because he killed Koda's parents back then. This is someone who has hurt many people. Someone who has killed others. And then it's Shigaraki and baby Shigaraki. Oh my god. Seems like this fight is inevitable. And now he's gonna go. And now he's gonna go. And that's the thing that separates Deku from characters like Naruto or other protagonists where they like try to save them and like they continue trying to save them throughout the fight, where Deku's like, I'm going to try it first, but if this doesn't work, now I am 100% committed to bashing your face in. I'm not going to try and save you anymore. I tried and now I'm done. And I love that about him. But at least I want to learn what makes him tick deep down. Deku's going full like, I'm going to figure you out while I destroy you. God, I love this kid. You turned out real boring, kid. In the gaps between those muscles you coat yourself with, the strands depleted of energy tend to rip and tear away. The guy who shies away from tactics and strategy wouldn't purposely jump to a lower floor like that. And I notice how your muscle armor is uneven in spots. I guess someone's been honing those vibrations in the meantime, huh? Oh, Shindo, sneaky little. This is also my full power. Oh! God, you can see his little face. It's still Deku under there. No, Kido, listen. I hear you guys saying, this is the Deku I wanted. This is the Deku. This has been Deku, though. He just didn't have the training to back it up. But this is who Deku has been since chapter 1, since infancy, since childhood. This has always been Deku. It's been there. It's been there in Horikoshi's writing. This has been Deku the entire time. And that is what is so glorious about it, is that this been Deku. Oh my gosh. That was it. That was the chapter. We didn't finish the muscular fight, so clearly we'll be doing that next chapter. But oh my gosh, this kid, this fight, I'm so ready. I'm so ready. Well, yeah, but that's because no one taught him anything. No one taught Deku anything. This is Deku who has like grown and learned, but the foundation of who this kid is has always been there. Like Deku been done just is. Deku has been. I'm so proud of him. But like, are we ever gonna see Bakugo? Like, I need to see Class 1A. What is Class 1? Like, what if instead of Shindo, it had been like someone else that Deku had saved? Like, what if it had been Kirishima? Like, that came through. Like, what if he had like cradled Kirishima like that and like saved him? What if it had been like Denki? What if it had been Ida? And then what if it had been someone from Class 1A and they get knocked unconscious and so Deku passes them off, and they wake up realizing that they had been that close to Deku and they had missed him yet again? And God, I hope someone, or like Aizawa, someone from Class 1A has to like show up at the end of this fight. I know Deku's on the other side of the region, but like, I just feel like there are no rules anymore. Everyone is everywhere. I know, but it just like everyone is everywhere, and I just feel like they could be there. Like it could be a thing. Hello, Silent Gamer X, Johnny Bravocado. What is up, you guys? Welcome. I am just like, I have so many feelings and emotions about this chapter and this kid. And it's like, I can't wait to find some like side-by-side screenshots back from, I have to figure out, let's look it up now. Let's see what chapter the original muscular fight was. Because believe it or not, chapter 74 to 76. Okay, so we're gonna go back there and we're gonna find some parallels, because like, oh my gosh. Right, Keto? Like the full, like the red lines and everything. Yeah, and it's definitely Bakugo doing it. But I can also, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think Bakugo would have hunted down Deku. I think Bakugo would be like, well, fine, I'm going to be the best hero I can be over here then. If you're going to be so freaking dumb, then the next time I see you, I'm just going to punch you so hard, you remember that you're dumb. I do love that like Bakugo literally sacrificed himself to make the point that Deku doesn't have to do this alone. And Deku immediately ran off alone. And like, I just relate to Deku so much. You know Bakugo's pissed. You know Bakugo has been pissed this entire time. But also Bakugo, like, and I feel like the thing is too, it's like Bakugo has done so much growing as a character. I feel like what pisses him off the most is honestly the danger that Deku is just putting himself in, and the fact that Deku isn't letting himself be protected. You know, Bakugo, like, and imagine Bakugo even thinking this, not even protecting Deku because he cares that Deku is safe, but protecting One for All. Like, Deku is what Shigaraki and All for One are after. They want this. I know I almost died for you. And it's not just to protect Deku, but to protect the hope that Deku can defeat these people someday. Like, what if Deku had been caught by Shigaraki while he was off on his own? What if, you know, All for One had just snatched One for All while Deku didn't have the protection of the heroes with him? And I know he did it to protect them, but it's one of those like, okay, but you're worth more now. It's like, you know, that feeling when you're playing, you know, a game of chess. It's like you sacrifice certain pieces to save other ones, you know, and I'm sure a lot of people from Class 1A and other pro heroes would really be, Deku wouldn't let them, obviously, which is why he ran. But I mean, everyone else is a hero too. Deku's not the only one with a hero complex here. His is just, you know, but I'm sure other people from Class 1A also kind of have that feeling of, but we could have protected you. Like, you should have stayed for the greater good of everyone so we could protect you while you train. So we could protect you while you got strong enough to defeat One for All, especially now that they all know. I know I still feel a little bit robbed of the fact we didn't get reactions of Class 1A finding out that Deku is All Might's successor. That was such a big secret and such a big buildup throughout the entire series. And we didn't get that moment. And because I'm a sucker for like the secret reveal moment, like that trope in fiction. I love that moment where like a secret comes out and you get like that reaction, especially when it's a secret that you as the reader has known the entire time. And you finally get to see other characters reacting to it. I wish we had gotten more of Aizawa, even like specifically Aizawa actually reacting to this, going, well, maybe if y'all had told me, I could have helped this kid a year ago, you know? Yeah, so I hope they get some flashbacks or like something of them talking about it. Or when they see him again, we kind of get like that reaction of like when they finally see Deku again after all this time, they're like, well, now I finally get to have that reaction because you're here in front of me that I didn't get to have because you taped a letter on everyone's door, because you wrote 19 letters and taped them on our freaking dorm rooms. Like, what is wrong with you? Send a group text, you idiot. Like, God, Deku. I can't believe this kid. Oh. Letters, not even to your face, not even to their faces. Yeah, and so like, yeah, and so yeah, the difference between him and his predecessors is he does have much more of a support system than his predecessors did. Deku's being so extra. He's being so extra, and I just, as much as I love that we're getting this, obviously, because like I love a Deku coming through, kicking ass, taking names. I want to go back to Class 1A. I want their reactions. I want Bakugo's reaction. I want, like, last we saw Bakugo was in the hospital screaming about Deku not being allowed to die on him. We didn't even see Bakugo's reaction to the letter. We didn't see Bakugo's reaction to him leaving. We didn't see anyone else's reaction to the reveal. We got a little mini Ochako moment of like, oh, he looked sad. But like, yeah, it just wasn't anything that, it was such a big thing and such a big moment. And I just wanted so badly to like really experience that. Yeah, I still appreciate Deku running off and doing it alone. I agree that it's cheap, but I feel like it just suits Deku. And I think the thing specifically about it is if Hero Society had not collapsed, I would judge a lot harder. I would think it was a lot dumber that he went off on his own. But I think specifically seeing everything going on, I think Deku literally, I think it actually makes sense for Deku to be like, I cannot be everyone else's problem right now. Because when you look at it, because here's the thing, is they are tracking Deku. They're hunting Deku. And UA is now a refuge. Like, it became like a refugee area for people who were displaced. So it really made sense for Deku to leave, especially considering they had civilians there. If it was still like an established school with the heroes and everything and Hero Society, it would be extra dumb. But I can totally get it, honestly, because there were so many, again, just civilians. Homeboy had to bounce. But yeah, but now at this point, it's like, so are you going to go back to them? But no, he's just on the hunt. I really think Deku like has no delusion in his head that he's going back to them. I think he's just on the hunt. But I hope that something happens that forces him to like kind of come back to Class 2A now. It must be Class 2A. I hope he comes back to them and has to like work together with them. And like, you know, he kind of gets brought in and then we kind of get like the confrontation and the reactions. I just like, yeah, I just want Deku interacting with Class 2A again. I want him interacting with Bakugo. I just want to see, even if we just get a cutaway to Class 2A talking to each other and we see them talking about Deku, like maybe it's like Ochako and Bakugo on patrol together. And, you know, and Achako's like, hey, like Bakugo, did you hear there was like a Deku sighting? You know, Shindo said that he saw him, you know, over by Shiketsu. And you know this, and then Bakugo will probably say something like, I don't care, he's an idiot, whatever. But at least we get like a conversation and the acknowledgement. And, you know, Achako's gonna probably be like, yeah, I just like don't know why he left. I wish he'd come home. And Bakugo's gonna be like, stop talking to me. And, you know, but like just something like that. Oh God, yeah, we have to have a flashback to that reveal. And then maybe that's it. Maybe Bakugo will refuse to talk about his feelings and we'll get a flashback to the reveal night. So like, I hope we get a scene like that. Deku will not end this alone. Deku will absolutely not end this alone. Horikoshi has done too much of building up, especially his dynamic with Bakugo specifically, to end this with Deku alone. He's been building up too much. Oh, I mean, and he's not alone, at least. He has like the One For All users. So I feel like the One For All users were probably a big part of him going off on his own too. They must have like done some encouragement with this. You need me to do these voices when I read. No, you don't want me to do these voices. No bueno, no bueno. I know, like Deku deserves to get punched in the face. I'm saying this as a Deku stan. I know. The old users are also people who are also flawed. They kind of count. Deku needs to be alone. Deku needed to be alone for a chunk of that. But he can't end it alone. I don't think he wants, there's things I don't think Deku wants to end it alone either. I mean, eventually his job, because again, I still firmly believe that, I mean, they've already confirmed that One For All ends with Deku, which I called it, but I think not only will it end with Deku, but I think it will end when Deku faces All For One. I think, or Shigaraki, or whoever ends up being, I think in the final battle, like this quirk is going to go away. I think all of the spirits of the previous users are going to be released. At that point, it might include All Might's spirit. I think the series could end, like, I think All Might could pass away before the final battle. Deku has All Might's spirit. Deku does the final battle. When the quirk goes away, the spirits of the previous users are released. Deku maybe has a final goodbye with All Might's spirit before All Might's spirit is also released, which is what I think. And then we get Deku kind of like getting to just like retire and chill for the rest of his life. I don't know. If these are died in his 40s, well, I mean, he knew his end was coming though. Like he felt when he was like, he started like cracking at the end. So I feel like he like still had time to pass it on because he knew it was coming. He had time to find someone, I feel like, because it wasn't just like because he was the one who like, he was like cracking and like coming apart. Like he knew it was coming because they thought it was like a disease. But yeah, I really want Deku to end this series quirkless. He's been talking to himself since 3. He needs no more. No, that's why Deku does need more voices, because he's been talking to himself. He needs people to talk to. That's the point. Oh, man. Yeah. But yeah. Anyone want a great power? Just this idea of him going, I'm sick. I got to sprint. Oh, man. Can you imagine? We all thought it was going to be quirkless Deku. We all did think. But yeah, no, I really, really think it's going to end with quirkless Deku. I'm curious to see, because originally I would have thought that it would end with quirkless Deku, and then Bakugo would be like the official like #1 hero in the rankings after Deku loses his quirk and can't continue as a hero. But now I honestly don't know if there's going to be hero rankings for Bakugo to be a part of after all of this. I'm really, really curious. Give it to the nurse in the hospital. Listen, that'd be cool. That would be cool. Imagine if you had Recovery Girl's quirk as one of like the One For All quirks. That would actually be pretty lit. Like heal yourself, heal other people, like save to win, win to save. I think that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah. Oh, hi, Rachel. Yeah, hero rankings are dumb anyway. I know. I wonder if, and that's the other thing, is like, I wonder if they've been like doing hero rankings, like what kind of has like, because it seems like the heroes are still patrolling and like things are rough, but it seems like overall they've still kind of like kept the system in place, even if it's not as effective. You want a future family epilogue? I don't, Leela. I don't want a future family epilogue at the end. I feel like no matter what, they always disappoint. Harry Potter sucked. Demon Slayers was actually, a lot of people didn't like the Demon Slayer epilogue. I actually enjoyed it. I won't obviously spoil that series here. But I don't want it for My Hero. I really want just like a true you know, hero action movie ending kind of a thing where we have like this final battle and everything. Yeah, see, thank you. I'm glad other people are kind of with me on this. I do not want a future family epilogue. Not even a little. I really, really don't actually. Oh yeah, like Bleach and Naruto, like those. Yeah. Well, and especially I feel like with how Deku has separated himself and like how the world and society has really crumbled, I just feel like I know none of these relationships like make a ton of sense. At this point, like from here, after being gone for so long, if you try and like, if you really try and send Deku back, have a final battle, and then flash forward 30 years with him and Achako's 5 children, I just don't care, don't see it, don't get it. I'm over it. Honestly, at this point, Achako's too good for Deku. Like, quite frankly. Like, Homegirl has really been doing the most and has been a fantastic hero and like a really like put together person. And Deku is a hot garbage fire. So like, Achako deserves better. Achako deserves Todoroki. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it out loud. I'm sorry. There it is. Or Ida. Like, she just deserves someone who stuck around, who was good to her, who comes from a rich family. Like, I'm just saying. Yo, Desiree, I'm a Deku stan. I'm a Deku Kinney. I love Deku more than life itself. As amazing as Deku is as a person and a character and a hero, he is a garbage partner and a garbage friend at this point. Like, Achako deserves a rich beau. I'm just saying. Male or female. Achako deserves money. Get it for her. This nonsense and tell me that Achako is with Deku and all this stuff. Yeah, rich girlfriend. I'm fine with that. Either way. Maybe Toga somehow gets rich after this and Achako saves her and they end up happy. I'm here for all of it. Yeah. So, but yeah, if they try and give me like a future Flash, then it's like Bakugo with some like faceless random woman that like no one knows. And you've got like, I don't know, Monoma and Momo together for no reason because you know that like these epilogues always have some random pairing like that in there somewhere. I just don't want it. I don't want it. I don't care. I will full on meme. I do not see it. Like I don't think Horikoshi will do that to us. I think he knows. When he set up Deku and Achako, I really think he did set them up. But again, he always he sets up tropes and then turns them on their heads. I think he set up Deku and Achako with the intention of turning that on its head later. I just don't think Deku's gonna have a romantic endgame. And I hope he doesn't. I honestly just hope he doesn't have one. This isn't even me being like, yeah. This isn't even me being like, oh, I want him with someone else or anything. I just like, I mean, and that whole thing has been one-sided for a while. It's just, yeah. Well, I'm not saying that like Deku and Achako makes more sense or less sense than like Achako Toga was mostly a joke. I'm just saying that Deku Achako at this point, like there's been no literary investment in it for a while now. Even if you think they're cute together, which I did think they were. Like back when I thought that before I realized how much Horikoshi was willing to go off the rails. And I really did think for a while that Deku and Achako were going to be endgame. Like I didn't hate it. I like Achako as a character. That's why I say she's too good for Deku, not the other way around. I like think that she's been really shafted in the way she's been written in the last few chapters, which is a huge bummer because I think there was a lot of potential there, especially in her fight against Toga. But I love Achako. This is not me knocking on her at all. She's just really been shafted by Horikoshi and Deku's doing his own thing. And it's really at this point, it just doesn't make sense anymore. It's that little crush you had when you were 14 years old. And I mean, I'm glad that worked out for some people, but how many of us ended up with the like first boy we had a crush on in high school, you know? Especially when that boy ran off and became a vigilante. You're like, I can't. Yeah, any epilogue with any sort of weird romantic ending at this point will just feel cheap. It really will. I'm sorry, it will. Because again, like, because you have other series like Full Metal Alchemist with Ed and Winry, and the way that was written, where you had kind of like your flash forward, that didn't feel cheap. Like Ed and Winry felt very well established, and that's a pairing where Winry like wasn't on the travels with him, wasn't with him consistently. And it still felt correct in the way that they were written and how developed she was as a character outside of Ed. Their dynamic, you know, their history. That was exactly, it was established throughout, and it was written by a woman, which was like, yeah, exactly, Keto, which I was going to kind of circle around back to, where it was written by a woman and done really, really well. And so again, it's not to say that you can't have these action adventure stories with good romantic relationships. They happen. They're just not usually in mangas written by men. Like, but I even feel like Mina and Kirishima, and then Jiro and Denki, those even feel better to me. Like, I'm not mad about either of those pairings. Kiri Mina is actually one of my favorite pairings, like, full stop. I think it's fantastic. And I think that we got to see like the establishment and the growth there. Even with Jiro and Kaminari, like we saw a lot less of it, but we saw some of it. And now we can assume that they've been together, not even romantically, they've just been in each other's presence for this past year. So even now, if we cut back to class 2A and like Kiri Mina and Denki Jiro are both pairings, like that has been established enough in a way that makes sense to me. So yeah, like they've been developed a lot more. I actually think that Kiri Mina has been developed a little more than Jiro Denki has. But both of those, again, like, so it's not, I'm not just sitting here saying you can't have any hetero pairings, you know, or whatever, but I just don't think at this point in the series, Deku and Ochako has been set up in a way that makes it feel realistic or endgame. And I would be upset if nothing about that changes, which the way Horikoshi has been writing Ochako, I don't see that changing. And then just trying to shoehorn an epilogue future marriage at the end. That's where I would get frustrated. I mean, I'm totally open-minded because, again, I don't hate Ochako. I love her as a character, and I don't have anything against some of these canon hetero ships. I'm totally down if he like suddenly pulls a 180 and Ochako goes full vigilante and joins Deku and does like some crazy cool stuff. Then I'm here for it. I'm open-minded. I'm not mad. I just don't think with where it's at right now and with the trend of how he's been writing, I just don't see it getting there. Yeah, I don't even need necessarily a flash forward to adults. Like I'm kind of fine with it sort of just ending. I don't know. I just love this story. And I just feel like flash forwards have a lot of potential for ruining an entire series. But yeah. Desiree, no, what do you mean? I think there's only hetero ships in this series. Because I mean, obviously, like Horikoshi, like for the anime to air legally with Japan's laws, you know, cannot put a gay ship in. And even if he could, I don't think he's done anything to make me think that he would necessarily want to. Yeah, we'll have to get some kind of future flash. I just hope it isn't necessarily one with a big emphasis on like, oh, the fan base. Yeah. And I mean, I understand though, like I do understand when you have, again, the female characters are badly written for the most part. Or even if they're not badly written, they're just not written as well as the male characters. So I do understand as someone who likes both. A lot of the ships that aren't hetero are just more interesting and more dynamic because the male characters have been given more screen time, more developed backstories, bigger character arcs, bigger character development, like more dramatic moments and like really intense interactions with each other. Like Ida, Todoroki, and Deku, everything they went through with Stain together. All of the fights in the sports festival, even between like Bakugo Todoroki, Deku Todoroki. It's just not written in that way. Deku Ochako had a ton of subtle development in the beginning. It absolutely did. And then it became extremely one-sided to only Ochako. And then it died off. I will absolutely die on that hill. I agree in the beginning. It absolutely did. But at this point, where we're at now, it completely trailed off. She's just not around. And anytime we see anything hinting at that pairing, it's always from a Chaco's side. Deku has not shown like real act, but that's what I'm saying. It's all on a Chaco's side. Like, what has Deku done to reciprocate that same level of interest in like the last 200 chapters? You know, it's all been over there. And then so that's why I don't like this dynamic of you have a Chaco who is the one showing all of the interest, and then Deku who's ditching her constantly and not reciprocating, which is again why I say she's the one who's too good for him. He's the one who is not being like someone who is worthy of the level of attention and interest she has given him at this point. It's all really, really been very much on her side. But yeah, he blushed a ton like in the beginning. But he also blushes at like everyone. Deku's an anxiety, which again, I'm not saying that there was nothing there throughout this series, but recently through everything that's happened, I mean, you had entire scenes where a Chaco was thinking about Deku, and then at the same time, Deku was thinking about being a hero. Just thinking about hero stuff the entire time. Not even saying he was thinking of another person. He was just thinking about other things. Just thinking about hero stuff, thinking about one for all stuff, thinking about vigilante stuff, I guess. You know, just like always, because you have these scenes that have been going back and forth. Because usually when a Chaco has these moments where she's thinking about Deku, it's in a part of the story where it's jumping back and forth or jumping between what's happening with the Chaco and what's happening with Deku. And in almost every single one of these, it's a Chaco thinking about Deku and Deku doing whatever the fuck he wants in the corner. Going ham, doing something else. I have seen that color page, actually. I've seen a lot of the art. And again, it's still possible that it might. I'm not saying that it, like, for sure won't. I just don't think it's been established well enough that at this point, it's a really well-written relationship or endgame. Yeah, exactly. It's that meme where she's like, I bet he's thinking about other girls. And Deku's over here thinking about like all of the pressure he has to save the universe with his 30 quirks and his creepy ghost friends. Like Deku's not thinking about it. Deku already has 8 other people living inside his head. He's got 8 dead people. Well, 7 dead people and then half of an All Might spirit living inside of his head. Like, homeboy is not thinking about girlfriends right now. I'm just saying. He's got other stuff going on. And I don't care about Deku getting a girlfriend at this point either. Like, Deku is trying to save the world with his ghost friends. He's 17 at this point now. Yeah. He's got like, he's busy. Deku's just busy. He's got other stuff going on. It just is what it is. And again, I just want better for a Chaco. I don't want her to be with someone who's going to ignore her to talk to his ghost friends all the time. They would be cute together. Again, like I didn't hate it in the beginning. If you like go back to some of like my original like talks where I talk about like my hero back in like the older chapters, I didn't hate a Chaco and Deku together. I really enjoyed a Chaco as a character. I just think the writing has not kept up with that relationship the way it should have if they wanted it to make sense. Yeah. I do think if we go by the normal shonen status quo, then it's for sure gonna happen. But he's turned head on a lot of these tropes, like a lot of them. But what I do love about Horikoshi is I don't think he will give into pressure. I think if he doesn't want it to happen, he's not going to let it happen. I think if he really wants it, he's going to shoehorn it in, whether it makes sense or not. I think at least whatever he does, it is going to be what his vision is, which I respect. I like, because I would be more frustrated if he like shoehorns it in because it's something he's really passionate about. At the end of the day, he's the creator. These are his characters. I respect that a lot more than, oh, I have to put these two together because it's expected. That would frustrate me. But the truth is, if it's Horikoshi going, I'm going to try and make this work at the end because I'm passionate about this relationship for these two, then that honestly makes me a lot less mad. Like, so be it. yeah, like I'm totally fine again with him being with a Chaco, because the way it was set up in the beginning, I didn't hate it. I thought it was sweet. Like, it was very cute. There was like a lot of, I liked how encouraging a Chaco was of him. I liked how much a Chaco actually stood on her own in the sports festival. I like really loved her through the sport festival arc. And then, but yeah, that's all I'm saying. Even through the internship arc, when she went and did like all the combat stuff, with Gunhead, whoever that hero was, that was fantastic. I just really feel like the way Horikoshi writes the women, he like has his female characters and he gives them like a moment and he's like, okay, you've been developed, check. And then he stops and he moves on to the next female character and he's like, okay, here's your moment, check. And then he moves on to the next one. Whereas the male characters, you can tell, are like consistently growing throughout. Like with every arc, there's some level of growth there. And for the female characters, it's very much like, okay, you grew, check. Okay, you grew, check. And then he's like done with them. And it's like, okay, thanks for that. It's fun. Yeah, they all just kind of like stopped developing. Momo, we got some more of Momo back finally, when they were fighting Gargantuan, Gigantor. So bad with names all the time. But yeah. So it just is what it is, which can be frustrating. Yeah, Jiro's growth was like singing. Like, it was a cute Jiro moment and I loved it, but like, she can still do more. Like, so I do really hope that when we cut back to, yeah, Momo's growth was way overdue, first of all. And it's just like, and again, it's like, it wasn't growth. It was like, we put her down and then 200 chapters later, we gave her a moment. And like, that's not growth. Like, we're watching the boys grow through trial and error and pain and everything. We're like watching them grow and develop, and the girls just like get a check mark. I would love to see future Eri and future Coda. If we get a future epilogue, I would love to see the kids grown up. Yeah, and we got Momo's moment like for Midnight's moment, which was so like yay. I want to see them though. I want to see class 1, and maybe we'll get like I want like a whole chapter or even 2 chapters where we just like revisit class again. Hopefully they're 2A now, and just see what they're doing, and we get to see them like hopefully we cut back and a Chaco's a badass. We cut back and it's a Chaco lifting an entire building off of like a crying family. Like, I'm here for that. I love a Chaco, you guys. I want better for her. Me disliking how the relationship between her and Deku has been established has nothing to do with my love of her as an individual character. I love a Chaco. I think she's wonderful. But yeah, I want to cut back to just them all being badass, and maybe to seeing some established Denki Jiro and Kirimina, honestly. Yeah, I want to see them. I want to see them so bad. Again, and I just hope we get a scene where it's like at least some of them like discussing Deku. I want to see them talking about Deku. I want to see a flashback to their reactions, or just to a flashback of like, what have they been doing for the past year? Like, what happened after Deku left? Did Aizawa call like a class meeting? Did they finally get them therapy? Like, what happened there? Please tell me, you know? We need to know. The world needs to know. I mean, y'all know how I feel about Deku supremacy. Like, I love that boy. But that's why I'm saying I want to see them so I can see how they talk about Deku. They definitely did not get therapy. I hate that you are correct. They definitely did not get therapy. But wow, do they need therapy? I hope Aizawa at least did his best. Like, because so specifically the way that Aizawa talked to the students in the overhaul arc, where he was like, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to back out. You're still kids. This is a lot. Like, Aizawa had that conversation with them in the overhaul arc. So I feel like it's really established that it would be in character after this for Aizawa to chat with them after Deku leaves. And like, first of all, he would pull All Might aside and be like, thanks for telling me, asshole. Could have helped. But I do feel like it would be perfectly in character for Aizawa to kind of gather class 1A and even 2A together, and Aizawa and Vlad King both, honestly, to sit down with their classes and be like, this is what's happened. This is what we know. This is what we have to do. Like, it's okay to not be okay about this. It's okay to miss Deku, but don't run after him. Like, don't pull a Deku, you know, stick around. Oh, you'd love to see, like, if Deku runs into him, that he's like super cold to them. I low-key kind of want to see that too, where they're just like all mad and emotional and everything, and Deku's just like, I've been through some shit in the past year and you're not exciting anymore. Could you imagine? I don't think he will. I don't think that's really super in character for him. That'd be fantastic. Yep, pulling a Deku. That's what it's called. It's just called, or pulling a Lexi, to be honest. I also just run away and then deal with my problems by myself and shut out the world. But we're going to call it pulling a Deku because pulling a Lexi hurts me on a visceral level. Yeah, you just want Deku to be like, if you want to help, then goodbye. Oh, man. But yeah, I want a dad talk with Aizawa. Oh, Sahar, thank you so much for appreciating my energy. I just love my hero so much. I could literally talk with you guys about this series for hours and hours, which is why I do these streams every week. It's honestly how I get my feelings and my emotions out. It like really, really is, because otherwise I finish a chapter and I'm just sitting there like, someone talk to me, please. I can't handle this. But yeah, I love this series. I love these characters. I love them so much. Listen, Kat, it was not really 2 hours. A good 45 minutes of that was us waiting for Keto to do her makeup. Like, let's be honest here. I'm just saying. All right. I do love all of you. I am actually about to go get into cosplay. Not my hero. If any of you are skate fans, I'm about to do a cos test for Reki. And waiting for Keto's cookies to finish. It was a lot of waiting. But I'm about to go do a Reki cos test, actually, and maybe knock out some TikToks. I'm super excited. Tomorrow I am shooting Cinder Reki. I'll be shooting Reki as Cinderella, and I'm so excited. Oh, Athena, I'm so glad. I feel like it's a good place for all of us to kind of come together and like vent and talk about it without worrying about spoiling things for people. I know Zahar Shindo was so random. I feel like he specifically put Shindo in because Shindo won that last popularity poll, the steampunk one, because Shindo was in the top 10, and Horikoshi was just like, ah, shit, I gotta write this dude back in. And then you gave us the whole moment of Deku like holding Shindo. It's like, okay. Keto, you told me this morning that I was uninvited and need to leave forever. So if you want to talk about rude, I'm just saying. Mine was nicer. Mackenzie, I will bring your Cindereki dreams to life. I'm so excited. Oh, man. Thank you all so much for being here and chatting with me. Like, seriously, these streams are like, these are my smallest streams that I do. I normally, like, when I stream on Twitch, it's a much bigger group of people. But these are, like, honestly my favorite streams. Just getting to, like, read what is honestly my favorite manga. Being able to chat about it with you guys. Being able to agree and disagree and talk about ships and plot lines and writing styles and the comparisons and everything. It really brings me a lot of joy in my life. Like, as you know, those of you who know, I've had a lot of like, you know, issues with like my dad's health and everything going on. And this is like the one stream every week where I'm like, this one I'm not canceling. Like, this is the one I have to come like make this stream happen every single week because you guys are just the best. And hopefully we can keep it up through the ending of the series. Can you imagine? Okay, I appreciate all of you endlessly. I love you guys so much. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you all next week for some more My Hero Academia streams. Bye, everyone. Oh, and I do have an Insta. Yes, it's Lexi the First. I don't have a social command here, but it's boop. Actually, let me. Boop. That's my Insta. So you can find me there where I post my cosplays. But I appreciate all of you, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!